Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here to bring you a wig review in partnership with Name Brand Wigs. This is Margu Candace in the color 626H. I haven't reviewed a Margu wig in a while. This one's really cute. This color though is stunning, and I'm going to tell you about both. If you'd like to know more, then stick around. I would like to thank Name Brand Wigs for sending me Candace so that I could show everybody this really cute, straight, long bob, otherwise known as a lob style, and talk about this color. I will have this wig linked in the description along with a coupon code that will save you money if you are interested. Name Brand Wigs is a wonderful online retailer. They do provide a lot of support. They have a great customer service team. If you're struggling right now to find the right wig for you, or you're struggling with color, you can reach out to them directly. support@namebrandwigs.com. They will help you. They're wonderful. Let's take a look at Candace from all sides. Now, there's one thing I'm noticing. I think there's some cold crimping going on right here. This hair right here lays really, really funny. Now, it's also, cold crimping is one way to describe it. It's also known as cold set. And sometimes, depending on how a synthetic wig was packed in the box, you can get funny little bumps and crimps in the fibers from having it be hot and then cold, and it can create a funny crimp and what's called cold set. Now, this wig is a regular synthetic piece, so it's not heat friendly, but you can fix cold set two ways. You can use a clothing steamer, just a cheap clothing steamer, and you can basically, what I would do, I don't have a brush. Let me grab a brush because I'll show you, just sort of semi-demonstrate what I would do. Now, you can use a brush, you can use a comb. I wouldn't use a wide tooth comb because that won't provide enough grip on the hair, but I would just take a brush or a comb and I would chase the steamer with the comb. So basically I would run the steamer down and then sort of chase it as it's warm and run it down like this slowly. You could also chase the comb with the steamer, and you may have to do that a couple of times, but that, if you've got funny little bumps, that can really help take the cold set out. Alternately, you can take a round brush if you're trying to get all the way down to the ends, because taking a comb or a brush will create more of a straightness to it. You could take a round brush and sort of chase that round brush with the steamer as you're going down, and then do a little curve on the end. So that is a really, really easy way to take care of cold setting in a synthetic wig and change the style a little bit. If it's a little too straight for you, you can create a bend. If it's a little too maybe wavy for you, you can smooth that out a little bit. The other way could be to take a hot air brush, an all plastic hot air brush. Those don't get terribly hot. They're generally safe to use on regular synthetic. I think I have a video where I talk about that, so I will make sure to link that in the description for you. That could be another way. It may not, though, provide enough heat to really get rid of any if it's a really particularly bad cold set, it may not be strong enough. You can start with that and then move to steam if you'd like. But just wanted to point that out. If you notice sometimes it's laying funny, I really think that happened in the box. Super easy to fix. Now, Candace, like I said before, is a long bob. You'll also see that referred to as a lob, and it's very, very straight. It's a straight, sleek, kind of all one length style. There's really no meaningful layers in it or anything like that. She also has a lace front and a center mono part, but you can see I actually have it parted off center to the right, going to the left. The mono part is wide enough that you can go off center. So if you're not a center part person, but you can do off center, you can do that with this particular lace front. Or I'm sorry, mono top or mono part. Let me get my wording right. Let's take a look at this lace front. They did a phenomenal job. Look at that. So good, so realistic. Even though this has some darker colors in it, the knots are super small, not super obvious. And then there's that part. So let me take this off. Oops, my wig grip's gonna come right with it. Let me take this off and show you By the way, I'm wearing a wig grip because this thing is huge on me. I will talk about size in just a moment. So there's that center part right there. You can see how wide it is. That's why I have the ability to part it a little off center. We've got a lace front that goes all the way to where the ear tab starts. We've got an extended nape, Velcro adjusters, and open wefting. I actually need to cinch these in even further. Look at how far I have those cinched in. This cap is running very, very big. Now, I tend to find Henry Margu wigs to run pretty true to average, maybe slightly larger than average. It kind of depends on the style and the wig. There is some variation within brands on how their wigs fit. Some brands have more variation than others. Henry Margu generally runs just slightly bigger than average in my opinion, in my experience, but this one is running what I would consider average large, at least in the circumference. Even having this cinched almost all the way in, it still feels really loose on me. I couldn't wear this without a wig grip. So if your measurements are similar to mine, you can find them in the description. Do keep that in mind. Now it has a ton of stretch, lots and lots. I am getting just a little bit of extra cap up here, not a ton. And the ear tabs come really far down on me, give me really excellent coverage. So I really do think this is running more average large at this time. If you have a petite head and you love what you see, there are tons of videos on YouTube showing you how to make a wig cap smaller. It's really quite easy. If you can use a needle and thread, you can do it. Let's talk about volume and density. This is a really kind of a low volume piece. It doesn't have a ton of hair. There's not a lot. You can see when I do this, it's not like the hair goes and goes. It's a really nice lowish density. There's no Permatease in this piece. The little tiny crimpy fibers right at the back, right at the cap. Nothing pillowy, nothing poofy. Because this wig is so low density, you definitely need those crimpy fibers or you'd be able to see down to cap. I think they did a great job with this piece. For anyone looking for a lower density, but you want a little bit of length, you don't want volume, you don't want poof, maybe you feel overwhelmed a lot by wigs, this wig is going to be a good one to try. And you can see she does tuck really well. You can tuck the whole thing, but because of how these ear tabs fall on me, it's a little bit challenging, so I like to just do a partial tuck and keep some of it down. Yeah, low density. I mean, you could wear this in a ponytail if you want to, and you can see that's not a very big ponytail. These fibers are really smooth. They're a little bit dry feeling. You know, sometimes you'll get synthetic fibers that feel really super soft and silky, and sometimes they're a little bit more on the dry end. I would say these fibers are sort of in between. I would say the one thing that I've struggled with on this piece is the front. It really does hang in the face a lot. I spent a lot of time as I was, you know, putting it on, combing it out, trying to, you know, learn a little bit about it, doing this, trying to get it out of my face, tucking it behind my ears. It definitely does hang a little heavy in the face. If you do have a clothing steamer, that's something that you can pretty easily fix. You can get lift in the front of your wig by using steam on it. You can, basically, I would just put this on a mannequin head. I would get the hair up wherever I want the lift, maybe put a little clip back on it, and then steam that front. Give it time to cool, and then when you drop it, you'll have a little bit of lift. Just do that as many times as you have to get the amount of lift that you need. But I want to mention that because I do think these type of straight styles can tend to have the challenge of hanging in your face. That is something you can fix. And because this has a beautiful lace front, if you're not to in the place yet where you can take steam to a wig, you're simply too nervous, just take a beautiful little clip, a fancy clip, a plain clip, a claw clip, a barrette, anything, a bobby pin, and you can clip this up away from the face. That's a great way to get used to wearing wigs as well. You can pull it into a half up, half down. So if you are struggling with wigs, please don't forget, you can style your wigs just like you do human hair. Depending on the type of fibers, you may not be able to take the same type of heat, but you can still use accessories. To summarize before we move on to color, I think this is a super cute style. I do think that if you have measurements similar to mine or smaller, you're gonna find this really big on your head. I will be able to wear this comfortably with a wig grip, and even putting a little bit of adhesive on the front to keep it in place if I felt the need, but I think a wig grip would be plenty for me to be able to wear this. But I'm an experienced wig wearer and I don't worry a lot about my wigs falling off. I do think the price point is pretty good. You know, Henry Margu wigs rarely go on sale. So if you are looking for not having to pay full price for a wig, I would wait for once or twice a year, Henry Margu allows sales on their pieces. And I usually have a coupon code that you can use at name brand wigs to save 30%. Henry Margu wigs are not eligible for that code. But I do think this price is really, it's priced well. And when I compare it, the quality to other brands, I think other brands' prices tend to be higher than this piece is priced. Maybe because they assume people are going to use a discount. So keep that in mind. If you're really budget shopping, you can always wait for a wig to get on clearance, but stay tuned. I have a feeling there's going to be a sale coming up soon on Henry Margu pieces. So maybe you could save a little bit of money on this one. All right, let's talk about color. 626H. Now Henry Margu, in their colors, when they have an H on the end, that means there's visible highlighting. And so they've given us the code 626. That means that they've used a number 6, which is a medium dark brown, as the base, and a 26, which is a golden blonde, as the highlight. So we've got a medium dark brown base and visible golden blonde highlights. There is no rooting, so it's consistent all the way up to the top, and you can see they did take those highlights all the way up to the top. It's very obviously highlighted, and you can really see that on the top. So I wouldn't say this is overly stripy. I've seen stripy wigs before. I wouldn't say that's what this is, but you definitely have lots of chunky blonde highlights. And then sometimes they're more blended as well. So a 6 is typically a darker color, and in some places you can kind of see the darkness of that. But with the highlighting and then with some of the blending of the highlight color, it really does lighten this up a bit. So if you are typically a dark brunette and you aren't used to highlighted pieces, but you really want, or maybe blonde, but you really want to work your way toward that, sometimes getting a piece like this with this type of highlighting pattern can help you work your way toward it. That's what I did when I first started wearing wigs, and now I can wear all colors. As long as the blonde is rooted, I can wear even light blondes now. And I got there because I started with wigs like this, and it really helped me to work my way toward it. This is a warm color. The brunette doesn't really pull red, but it's a chocolate. It's a really warm, the blonde is a golden, warm golden blonde. Let's get outside so that you can see this color outside. I will tack some pictures on the end. Thank you, Name Brand Wigs, for sending this so I could show everybody. I will talk to you guys in my next video. All right, friends, here we are, 626H outside. The highlights in this one are incredible. It is absolutely a stunning brunette. Look at how those pop. If you love a good highlighted medium brown, let me step into some direct sunlight for you. This is it. Beautiful warmth. Thanks for watching.